Hey guys, Mikhail here for another device deal video. Today we're looking at Arlo again, and this time they've got a new addition, the Arlo Go 2. So this one is going to be replacing the Arlo Go, the original model here, and so while it's kept its core of like the main features what the Arlo Go originally did, there's a heap of new features and a lot of really great improvements to the original model. So we're going to go through that a little bit with you and do a little bit of a comparison as well. So we're going to just show you what comes in the box briefly, go through some of the features, and then do a little bit of a comparison and just wrap it all up for you. So first impressions, comes in a pretty nice, neat, small box, easy to carry around. Then as we take it out, you'll get, standard instructions, warranty card, shows you what's inside. Then the camera itself. Now, first big difference I'll mention is that it uses a much larger battery in comparison to the first one. We'll show you properly with a side-by-side in just a moment, but that's probably one of the bigger things I've noticed on my first impression, is that it does have a larger battery. The battery it uses is in fact the XL battery, like the same as what is used in either the Pro 3 floodlight model, or you can just buy the XL battery separately and they work with either the standard Pro 4, Pro 3 or Ultra models even. So yeah, battery life is already greatly improved in that regard. Then you've also got your charging cable. So if you add into an existing kit, you can use the power adapter that's included there, or just any USB power adapter, it doesn't really matter. But you've got charging lead here. This is just under 1 meter long. I think it's about 90 centimeters. So if you did want a longer cable, they do come in longer lengths, 2.5 meters and 8 meters as well. But you can check out our website if you want to find those ones, because there is a variety if you do need something a little bit longer. Then a mount is also included. So just standard screw mount. No, pretty basic, nothing different there. And then screw mount kits. So screw mount kit, which will help you put it all in all together. And then yeah, the battery itself. So yeah, I'll show you again to compare in a minute, but much larger battery. If you've used these before, you'll already know this is significantly bigger than what a standard Arlo battery looks like. So color night vision has now been added to the new camera. So the old camera, the original Go, had no kind of spotlight or night vision. It had some normal night vision, just that kind of standard infrared black and white. But with the new one, you've got a spotlight, which not only can provide you with a bit of light to the area, but also provide that color night vision. It pretty much brings it to the standard that the newer models are in, the Arlo Essential, Pro 4, the Ultra, kind of the base specs of those. It's kind of risen that to be a bit more on par. A really cool new feature that I think is a great idea, and I haven't seen anyone else use this feature before, is GPS tracking. So another one of the #1 questions I get asked from all our customers regarding these cameras is, what happens if someone just takes it off the mount? And I give them usually a couple different options. You can get secure mounts or anti-theft chains. There's a number of different ways you can keep the camera secure. But now with the Go, on top of all that, you've got the GPS tracking. So if you've got a SIM card in there, then you can actually use GPS tracking, so if someone does take it for any reason, you can actually see where they've taken it. So again, another extra layer of security on this, and to know where it is at all times. I think it's a really nice feature that I haven't seen anywhere else, so really solid there. Alright, so we're going to go through some of the features now. So as I mentioned at the start, the Go keeps its core identity in being a camera that can run off of a SIM card. So it's not just so you don't actually need Wi-Fi or anything for these cameras. So that's kind of kept that core. So things like using it at other construction sites. We sell a lot of these to people that work on farmlands, or people maybe doing renovations, or you're going to a holiday house, or just somewhere you want to use the camera that there's not going to be a Wi-Fi source. This is the perfect camera for you. The thing that they have added though is that the new camera actually can go onto Wi-Fi as well. So what you can actually have is to put like a SIM card in there, data SIM card, and use that as a backup. So we get asked quite a lot. It's like, oh, what happens if the internet drops out? Do I just lose access? Well, in this case, if you do lose your Wi-Fi internet and you have the SIM card in there, you can act as like a failover backup. The same way that like routers these days can have a SIM card for the same purpose. You know, if something drops out, you get the 4G failover to keep having that access. So that's a really handy feature with this one as well. The resolution has been increased to 1080p, so full HD resolution, which is an improvement from the 720p that the original Go had. On top of that, I think the field of view is similar, but the battery life, as I mentioned, very big difference. You can already see in front of me here, we're just comparing the physical size of the battery itself. You can already see much larger, almost pretty much double the size. I actually probably would call that double the size. So significant improvement with the battery life there already. And you can also see that, I guess, in the shape of the cameras as well. You know, they need to use a larger shell to actually keep that all together. So that's why the camera itself does look larger. So while there's everything that comes in the box that's required to get the product up and running, Arlo still definitely offers some really handy accessories which can complement the product. So some things such as our #1 seller, the solar panels. So especially if you're using this in a farmland or somewhere that you're not going to have regular access to, while the big battery is great and will keep it charged for longer, if it is something that you want to kind of just set up and forget about and you have it as an outdoor camera, the solar panel is something that will just keep a trickle charge going at all times, as long as there's obviously suitable sunlight. And then in theory, you'd never really have to ever charge these batteries again. Another thing you can get is a case. So if you want to change the color, they do have a black case. Now, at the time of this video, I don't believe we have the black case in this larger frame, so you'd need to downsize the battery to one of the smaller ones in order to do so. But it's something that, you know, maybe you don't have enough space to fit the camera, or you want it to blend in with an environment. You can get a black case and then change that over and keep that and do what you please from there. Another thing is the anti-theft mount. So finally, after all this time, Australia, we're finally getting the Arlo anti-theft mounts. So you'll be able to, and these will be compatible with all models, not just for this Arlo Go model. So you'll find that on our website real soon. And then that can kind of give people a lot of peace of mind when it comes to the security of these cameras. So now with this Arlo Go, you've got anti-theft procedures, you've got GPS tracking. It's really as secure as you can possibly get for a wireless camera. Alright guys, so there you have it. The new Arlo Go 2. Finally a new Super Session model for the Arlo Go original. And I gotta say, I'm super impressed with this. This really gives you ability to use it in all environments, regardless of internet usage, because that's one of the very top questions we get asked is about the internet access stuff. So with this model, you can use it anywhere you want, as long as you get a SIM card that's activated. With storage, you've got your internal micro SIM card storage, or you can go on the subscription plan with the cloud storage. You've got a super large battery, so it's going to last definitely a few months, but at the same time, battery life is always a bit subjective depending on the traffic, so always keep that in mind. But regardless, battery life is very substantial with this model. And you've got the better resolution, so we've improved to full HD, which is fantastic. There's really not much that I can fault about this camera. It's an incredible improvement from the original Go. GPS tracking, as I mentioned before, is probably my favorite. It's a game changer to me. And I definitely think that this is the way to go in the future for any use, as I mentioned, but you know, particularly farm use, caravanning, anything like that where you're not going to have internet access. So guys, if you've got any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment on our video or even give us a call or an email. We'll be happy to answer any queries you have about the Arlo cameras. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.